What's up, members of the channel? I think I got this set up for members only. Yes, I do. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully, everybody is doing all right. Figured I'd pop on here. I'm back home. Probably looks a lot different here. I'm in between some gear swap outs, unpacking gear from ICAST, and I actually got rid of my primary camera today, sold it to some guy, and am upgrading my A cam to my dream camera. So that won't be here till Wednesday. So I'm rocking good old Logitech I think it's a C920 for a few days here until Wednesday. Hopefully the package arrives on time, so I'll be up and running by Thursday at the latest. Is the plan. So you got me on a webcam. One reason why I'm doing this is just testing the setup out because we got the FGTN show on Tuesday night, of course, as always. And I got to work this week, so I need a camera to do that. What's up, John? Nice to see you here. Thank you for all the iCast behind the scenes. Heck yeah, man. Yeah. So just wanted to kind of touch on that and kind of what to expect the rest of the month here. So dude, it was a freaking grind, right? I mean, these members' videos are just supposed to be kind of hanging out, chilling, and giving you some of the behind the scenes stuff. But like, dude, it was a grind. Those days are long, right? I know a lot of people don't really know what they're like. And my goal is to help showcase some of that. That's why what you'll see is new product showcase was me taking pictures and showing the vast variety of what the things are, how you have the entrance and you kind of go down the escalator. And it's the same every year. So it's really giving you a feeling for it. After watching a bunch of the videos, I mean, hopefully, if you guys go in the future, because I think there's like 5, 10 years down the road, a potential opportunity to do like a split show where it's like a day or two of industry and then a day or two of public. So that way the public can come in and check out stuff too. So I think that would be kind of cool. I've talked to nobody official about that. It's one of the ideas I had and talking to a couple of other guys in the industry, and they're like, yeah, that'd be sweet. So the idea would be already know what to expect and you could go and check it out. In like the award show, like the clips from the stage and whatnot. Next year I don't remember John, if it was you or somebody else brought it up, but I think it was a good idea. Like I should try to go live while at the show. And I know the first day was pretty bad. That I went live for the members when I got to the show, and I was on their Wi-Fi. That didn't work very well. The second day, I was just using my cell signal, and I know that was better. But when I was walking, like pretty fast throughout the hall, I must have been breaking up a little bit. So I'd have to figure out a better internet solution. But like, it would be cool to go live at the show, like on the main channel, not just members only, and have a plan for these are the areas we're going to hit, right? And these are the people we're going to talk to. You guys can ask questions. It'd be kind of cool. So watch some other videos, and a lot of opinions said that ICAST seemed not as big this year. Yeah, the brand um Pure Fishing, I'm just typing it in. I'm obviously sitting in my office here. Pure Fishing. Here, I'll share my screen. So you're not just looking at my ugly mug this whole time. All right, I'm gonna move you here. And I think I can do share screen. Top fishing brands. All right. So this is Pure Fishing. A lot of people know of Pure Fishing's brands, but they didn't know that they know of them, if that makes sense. So Pure Fishing has a ton of brands under them. Their brands are Abu Garcia, Berkeley, Fenwick, Freybill, Finnor, Grays, Hardy, Penn, Fluger, Plano, Savage Gear, Shakespeare, Spiderwire, Ugly Stick, and Van Stahl. Those are their brands. None of those brands were at the show this year. As we can see, a lot of them are fishing brands, right? Um, Actually, all of them are fishing brands in some way, shape, or form. So like none of them were there. Because they're gonna do their own event. Clam Outdoors wasn't there this year. I think Old Town Kayaks didn't have a booth there this year. So there were a lot of brands that weren't there for sure. So I would agree in terms of the size of that. However, on the flip side, there were a lot more newer, like, smaller mom and pop shop type, which, to be completely honest, those are the ones that I like to see, because those are the ones that, in my mind, that true, like, garage ingenuity and innovation comes in, and you see some pretty cool products, and you get to support the small local businesses. Because I mean, you go to these big brands and, like, all their stuff, like, I know a lot of the stuff that I buy is from overseas in China and whatnot. It's just the world that we live in right now. I'd love if everything I could buy is US made, if pricing and everything worked out, right? And I like supporting small shops, but these big brands, they have a lot of their stuff overseas, right? So that slows down their innovation cycle. I love supporting the smaller shops. So we saw more of that this year there, and it just felt like it was more about um able to have conversations with people rather than. I felt like I've only gone 2 years, this year and last year. Last year when I went, I think one of the challenges that I had was um not putting the right frame of mind in, especially the first day that I was there last year, and I'm like, "Why do so many people, like, not wanna even interact with me?" And it wasn't like a me problem, it was that the way ICAST is evolving. ICAST has always been, based off of what I've researched and I found out last year, and I went into it a little bit differently this year. ICAST has always been around all of these brands like what you see here, right? These are the pure. I didn't realize how small that was. Sorry. It was listed here on the bottom of this page here. These are all the pure fishing brands. Like brands like this and all the other brands that you know of that we've talked about, they go to the show and they talk about their products, right? They all have, shoot, I don't think I have any with me here, but they have their product catalogs, right? So like Bubba Blades, right? I picked up their product catalog and dude, I didn't even know half the stuff that Bubba Blades carries. But like they're there at the show as the exhibitors, and the people that are attending the show are your tackle shops, your Cabela's, your Shields, your Fish USA, your Tackle Warehouse. Like the retailers are the ones that are attending the show, the distributors, the buyers, and they're trying to figure out what are we gonna buy and assort. And so when I would go up to a booth last year, I would go in and I'd be like, "Hey, tell me about your stuff." And they'd see my badge, it says media, and they're like, "Dude, we're not gonna sell you anything. So, like, I'm not gonna waste my time talking to you." And I feel like it's now kind of evolving into, uh, it's more so about that word of mouth and the media presence, and I think the ICAST committee, um, the ASA knows that and is evolving towards that, but I think a lot of the brands gotta get used to that, and then I think it's gonna flip in the next 5 years, I think, but, um, dude, it's fun, but no, so, like, I get up super early to have my plan ready for the day, right? And then hit the show floor. It opens at 9 a.m., closes at 6. I usually stay until the very end. And then if there's like a award ceremony, that goes to 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, or a preview session. Then I would get back to my room, eat my first meal of the day, which was dinner. Otherwise, just live off protein bars and energy drinks and coffee. And then prepare for a few hours for the live show, do the live show, get done by 2 a.m. in the morning, go to sleep, get up, and do it all over again. So, dude, it's a grind, but like I love it. So it's good to be home, man. Good to be home. Did you score any cool swag? Um, I got a hat. I think there's a couple companies that said they were gonna send me something, but I mean, you guys know me. I'm not I think like people offered me things like here's a bag or here's a little like like all the like the what's the right word? A tchotchkes, like the junk stuff that people give you, pens and those types of things. I just didn't take any of them. Um, they typically at these shows um, will give stuff out in like to media as like a favor us type of thing, if you will, where they'll actually give them good stuff, or they keep that stuff for the people that if you do a purchase order, I'm gonna give you some other stuff like, hey, like trying to butter them up to make a better purchase order of I'll buy 1,000 of these rather than 500 from my stores type of thing. So no, and anytime people offered them, I would just decline. So no, I didn't pull a ton of swag, but honestly, like I don't go for the swag because like my channel, like one of the primary things to me is I want to as much as I can within reason, right? Some of the stuff's super expensive, and if I want to try it out, I'm gonna need to borrow it, right? Or I'm gonna need to get it and then gift it to someone, right? I'll never, take money from these guys or anything like that. And so I typically don't take free products. Sometimes I get stuff just sent to me, and I mean, I'm not gonna send it back, but yeah, we'll see. Good answer. Oh, it was just testing to see if you got bought. No. Dude, there were several brands that wanted to though. Like, I'm not trying to sound anything, but like cocky or anything, but like there were I think I think there's so many brands that like the way they know they need to do marketing is by partnering with like social content, YouTube content. And so there was a lot of brands that approached it. And like immediately I'm like, I do my content differently. I'm one of I don't think there's a lot of us that are like this in the fishing industry, but I don't attach myself to any brand, right? I won't accept your checks, right? I'm not going to accept a monthly allotment of product. Like I don't do that. Now, do I wanna have a good relationship with you as a brand? Heck yeah. Here's my card. Give me your card. Let's be in touch. And if you're gonna like launch new products, tell me, give me the deets because I want to get some content out because that's what my viewers want. I don't want you giving it to me. Like if I want it and I think it's valuable, I'm gonna go buy it because I'm gonna say whatever the heck I want about it, right? And so that's when I said that so many times during the show. And like I would say a lot of them aren't there yet mentally to understand the value of that. And so they're like, "Oh, okay, cool. Well, thanks for stopping by." And then but then there were others that are like, "Totally, like, that sounds awesome. We don't need to pay you. You're doing this because 'cause you're excited about it. And, like, if we get some stuff out of you, cool, just by giving you, like, a heads up on stuff coming out or whatnot." And of course, they're like, "But we're gonna send you some stuff." And I'm like, I'll just buy it, but thanks." Because like, I mean, you tell me, John, if somebody sent you a bunch of stuff, right? And they're like, "Check this stuff out." And like there's a part of you that feels somewhat obligated, right? Like I should probably talk about this, right? And then it's going to come off as like, are you maybe recommending it? Or even if you do a review on it, right? And you say it's an unbiased review, right? And you even say that you got it from them. There's like this feeling inside of you, at least for me, not putting this on you or anybody that watches this after, because I think you're the only one that hopped on. It's pretty late here, but um right now, at least. Oh, I can't even see. The numbers aren't updating. Um, but yeah, like there's that like inside of you, that feeling of like I shouldn't say anything critical, or if I don't like something, maybe I just won't say that little thing. That's probably not a big deal. Most people probably won't care, so you don't even bring those things up. I I don't know. I get like a pride in me where it's like, dude, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna spend my own hard-earned money. I'm gonna buy this thing, and I'm gonna say whatever I want. And if I can help out a brand by talking good about a product that they've done a really good job on, it's a win for everybody involved. I got a sweet product, sweet piece of content. You all got a good recommendation, an honest, unbiased, transparent one, and the brand got some free marketing that they didn't have to pay for. So, um, dude, that's what it's about. So that's what I like to do. Brands are realizing social media sales. Oh, for sure. And like honestly, this is where I see the industry going, and then I'll get into kind of what July is gonna look like here because I gotta actually start doing some more editing here. But, um, the so where do I see it going? So live social shopping is gonna be the next big thing. So, like, think about QVC, but over the next we'll call it 2 years, I think is it's gonna take to really pick up. What's gonna happen is, like, YouTube, Facebook. I mean, shoot, TikTok shop. They already kinda do it today, but it's gonna be widespread, it's gonna be more elaborate. It's gonna be go live and talk about your products, talk about your stuff, and people are gonna check out like QVC style, but on social media. Like, that's the next big thing. And so I don't think any brand knows that or is thinking that way. I see it coming. So it's gonna happen. And so I think if brands are smart, what they'll do is they'll attach themselves to as many creators as they can in any way that they can. So that way, as that ramps up, they can get as much presence and attention as possible to explode. I mean, one thing I've been really thinking about, tell me if you think it's a good idea, is what I was gonna do is I've got a lot of gear in my gear garage that you guys have seen that's like ice fishing gear that I just don't use anymore, or I got a bunch of to do testing, and it's like, I'm realistically only gonna need 1, or like, I tested 10 different heaters and I still have all 10 heaters. I've got like 7 augers out there right now. Like, part of me is thinking of, like, spending some time, a couple weekends, getting it all set up in my garage or whatever on tables, going live and just doing basically like a live garage sale. Um, so anyways, there would be a part of me, but I think you could handle it since you've been non-biased as long as he's coming speaking your mind. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yep. And there's companies that send me stuff that never make it on camera, right? And it's like, look, didn't like nothing wrong with the product. It's a good product, but it's like I have nothing to say about it, right? So doesn't happen super often, but when it does, doesn't actually change anything for him. Okay, so what does this month look like? So we're back. It's July 19th today. Tomorrow's July 20th. Today was great. Um, I got a couple extra hours of sleep last night, so I got 6 hours of sleep last night. Spent all day with my kiddo, which was great. We still got some family stuff going on, so, working through some of that. The next few weeks are gonna be pretty hard, on that front. But outside of all of that, content-wise, my goal is to try to do more of these member lives. I think I kinda got into a groove there, like, it's a grind what I was doing at ICAST, but I appreciated connecting with you guys, on a nightly basis. Like, it's like my social output, my way of connecting, because it's like all I do is, like, I sleep, I work, I content, I sleep, I work, I content, and so it's kind of a cool way to hang out. So I might do more member lives, coming up. I'll try to do some, more we'll see. I'm gonna stretch myself and try to get to 2 a week for now and just see what we can get to. So that's one thing to look forward to. I want to do more lives, member lives. I think on the main channel right now, I'm still going to stick to uh, the FGTN show once a week, which is Tuesdays right now. And then Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. or thereabouts, whatever it actually happens. And then if I go fishing or do a random live stream for like special things like iCast or live on the ice or live on the water. So that's what we're going to keep the main channel to. So just to try to amp up more of the benefits for the members as well. Some other things to expect here is I think I just added another video. So 12 or 13 videos. Um, 2/3 of them are filmed. I just need to edit them from ICAST. So cool new products and things that we want to go through. So I got to edit them, get them on the channel. And my goal is to release them starting tomorrow, one per day until they're all done. So that should take us to just about the end of the month. But you'll see a piece of content coming out. And these videos are anywhere from 2 minutes to 15 minutes long. Like they're not super long videos because it's about a specific product. But I do have some videos that I'm going to be doing, such as my top 10 new products from ICAST, new fishing tech from ICAST, which will be a little bit of a roll up. I'm going to do live scope updates from ICAST. I don't remember if I told you guys this already. And then new ice fishing gear from ICAST. So I think those will be videos that I still have to film and do and talk through. And as I was doing some of the editing of some of these videos, I realized um, you have to tell me what you think. I filmed all of these videos as asking a couple of questions of somebody at the booth, right? Getting excited about it, telling them kind of how I want the flow of the video to go. And then it's basically them on video. And then in some of them, you can hear me behind the camera asking questions because I've got a microphone on too, and then them answering it. I think that format works. But what I realized is there's a level of excitement, a level of leaning into the details, sometimes even lack of details that they're giving, and I get it. They're not used to being on camera, and so it's really intimidating when you're on camera and you're not used to it. I totally understand that. Um, and so, like, I'm part of me is thinking, like, in the future, do I just bring, like, a small little tripod, and do I just film the dang video? Like, talk to them, get all the detail, and then I film it, kind of, like, with them there with me, and then, like, I am on camera prompting them for, like, "You said something about this. Can you tell me what that was?" So it's almost like 2 of us on camera. So maybe next year, I will play around with that format, or maybe even at some of the ice shows this year, maybe I'll play with it. So you guys will have to let me know, what you like. Do you wanna see more of me on there and kind of a similar style to what you're used to, where, I go crazy analytical about stuff and, like, go deep into it? I think it'll soften the impact for them too, so they don't feel like the camera's just on them. It's not as intimidating, and we'll get more out of the videos, but you'll have to let me know, what you think. So this month is all about pounding out the rest of that ICAST content. We're still gonna do the FGTN shows, and then we are going to, try to do a couple more members lives. And my goal ultimately, one day, eventually, far down the road, 5 years from now, maybe this is what my full-time job is, and then we would do members lives 5 days a week. Like, that's what we're gonna get to, but we gotta get it there first. Um, so yeah, that's kinda where we're at. So, let me know what you think, John. Let me know, any of the other, members that hop on here or view it after the fact in the comment section. Let me know what you think. That's the plan for July. As of right now, the plan for August is, gonna be leaning into, I know, some early ice fishing stuff will get announced. I saw Clam just yesterday announced a new, like, tip up with a 360-degree LED light thing on it. We'll talk about it in the FGTN show this Tuesday, but they came out with that. That's the only product that I've seen out. Their website doesn't have anything. Last year, we already knew. I in hand had their new catalog. Since they weren't at ICAST this year, I don't know anything about them. Of course, we found out about the Strike Master Auger and all of those types of things. So we're gonna start seeing in August some of the ice gear come out, and then September is really when we'll find out about, like, we'll find out about probably 30% of it in August. I would say an extra 60% of it in September. And then anything else that doesn't come out will just kind of trickle through to when brands just decide to launch them. But typically by October, early October, we know about 90+% of the stuff that's going to be out there. So the next couple of months are going to be leaning kind of back into that. I typically see volume for ice start ramping up in end of July, early August. I'm just looking, I've got like a big chart here of like a ton of stuff, and it's like kind of the ice fishing stuff and whatnot. But uh, the patterns of like, so I've got like, when's the prime ice season for content? When does it slow down? Uh, when open water is it kind of its peak or the slowest time period, which is typically from March to July is the slow part of the channel, which you guys already know. A lot of people don't watch a lot of YouTube on in the summer, like across any niche, any category on uh, the platform. And then super early ice and fall is end of July, early August into October, and then there's a prime ramp up for ice season, which is basically the month of October. And then it's prime ice time from November, December, January into basically February 1st. And then the month of February, and then it's just dead. Uh, Ice stuff is dead at that point. So that's what we're going to do. Next month, what you're going to see is more of the I think I teased it out like a couple months ago on the channel. I was going to start doing some videos, which I'm going to start next month now, in August. Uh, I think I called the series uh, Gear You Need to Know or something like that, or Gear in Under 2 minutes or something. They're going to be short videos that are about new products that you maybe haven't heard of within the fishing industry, or products that you've heard of, but you want to know what is it all about, right? So it's like I'm going to go through who is this going to be the best for? What are 2 or 3 of the key things that you'd want to know about it in case you are interested in getting it? Really to build it up as kind of like a resource on the channel. And then I'm going to use those on other platforms as well. I'm going to start posting them actually on Amazon as well. So that way, like when you go to Amazon, there's videos that are by products. My goal is to hit a lot of those ice and other fishing products as well. So that is where we're at. So that's the plan. Appreciate you for tuning in, John, and anybody else here that hopped on and just hasn't hit the chat yet. But feel free to jump in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. Appreciate each and every one of you for supporting. Again, we'll try to do more of these. I've got a few things sitting on the edge of my boat that we got in. We talked about a couple of the things that I was going to be picking up. I got them. And I'm gonna open them up with you guys, and we're gonna kind of go through what those look like, and kind of adjustments that I'm gonna be doing to the boat probably later this week. We'll do that. So take it easy, tight lines. Have a good night, everybody.